Slavery. Slavery is the ownership of people and stems back thousands and thousands of. While some speculate that certain graves dating back to 8000 BC in Egypt showed enslavement of a tribe, it is commonly said that slavery probably the invention of agriculture about 11,000 years ago. The Bible often refers to slavery, and the Code of Hammurabi issued death to anyone helping a slave. Slavery was used in almost every ancient civilization, including ancient Egypt, China, India, Greece, and even the Roman Empire. The reasons for slavery could be a person in debt to someone being for a crime, prisoners of war turned slave, abandoned children, or when children are born from slaves. This illustrates that many different ways someone could become a slave. Classical Athens, in 6th and 5th centuries BC, is certain to have led to the largest slave population of ancient times, totaling as many as people. This meant that somewhere around half of the population were slaves. When the Roman Republic would expand, it would enslave entire populations, which were used not just for labor, but amusement as well. Example, gladiators. Slavery would continue to become a pillar of economic wealth for Rome, as well as an extremely important society. In Europe, during the Middle Ages, the slave trade would peak in the 10th century because of the Zing Rebellion. This would make African slaves being sent to the Arab world decrease. Spain and Portugal were constantly being pillaged and people taken as slaves by Muslim invasions. An example of this would be the Almohad Katlet Hiklat Almohad raid in 1189 against Lisbon, Portugal. He would take 3,000 women and children captives, while one of his governors took 3,000 Christian in Silves, Portugal in 1191. In Britain, slavery went well beyond the fall of Rome, constantly being fed by the need to fight off Viking invasions. At its peak, 10% of Britons were slaves, and the Roman Catholic Church approved of it at the time, only prohibiting Christian slaves to be transported to non-Christian slaves. The church even went so far as to say any non-believers could be made perpetual slaves. It wouldn't be until when Pope Paul III would forbid enslavement of the Native Americans, the church made an official stance against slavery. Slavery in the Americas started from the Spanish invasions and would not let up for over 300 years. Portugal and two of the earliest colonizers of the Americas would create many slave shops in their colonies. And in 1519, Hernan Cortez would bring Mexico's first Afro-Mexican, that's Mexicans with African heritage, slaves. Spain wanted to establish itself as a powerful, and as such, the natives that they conquered would be used as slaves frequently. It is estimated that 12 million Africans were brought to the Americas from the 1500s to the 1800s. It is estimated that 645,000 of these went on to what is now the United States of America. This is easily plausible. By the 1750, slavery was legal in the original 13 British As the years went by, however, most civilized countries would drop slavery and only allow indentured servants, people who would have to work off their debt as for their trip to America. The United States would be one of the last countries to end slavery. Slavery was one of the causes of the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln became the 16th president of the United States. And following the Norse victory in the slavery was finally abolished in... Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bill, say bye.